Hello everybody, welcome back. So I'm not really going to bore you to death about the overall market health and things like that. It appears that $2 trillion that Biden wants to hand out is going to get handed out, but for the moment the markets haven't quite reacted to that because I suppose it's not officially official. You know, there's a few more bits and bobs that need to be added to that process before it becomes actually official, but the markets are certainly not reacting to it at the moment. Nasdaq continuing to dump, Dixie is continuing to pump. So let's look at the Dixie in the form of a chart and not just expect that this 2 trillion is just going to get pumped into the market immediately, although it will, but the market's not reacting to it positively at the moment, I suppose because it's not signed and delivered yet. So before we go into, we're going to look at Algorand today, but overall, you know, the market for Bitcoin anyway is actually looking pretty good. It's not recovering. It's not in a bull phase. But it is looking pretty good. I have to say, let's just say it's not looking extremely. It's not looking bad. So, those who watch the channel know that I talk about the Dixie, and I know it's boring, but it is having a negative impact on traditional markets, which may end up transpiring into cryptocurrency, because, well, I've gone over it many times. So I would expect at this point now that the dollar is pushing, we will probably push up to the 200 exponential or thereabouts. We're talking about areas of 92.7. I didn't think we'd come here this fast, but we have, and that's where I would expect the next rejection. So the dollar could easily push up even further. That would cause a downside to all markets, I would expect, even Bitcoin, which is definitely holding up very well. But this whole situation leads me to think that when we do finally get this rejection, which I would expect to be here, then that rejection should be relatively significant, and then everything will rally pretty hard at that point, pretty hard. But at the moment, you know, we're holding our breath, we're waiting for the rejection, we're waiting for the stimulus, we're waiting for all this. But the chart alone suggests that we shouldn't go any higher than this, which just offers a further 0.6% actually. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Right, so that's all that boring stuff out of the way. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. So this is something we're also very excited at. Breaking down basically, bearish chart. We've been going through this over and over again. So because we look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, it fills me with joy because I'm going to have to get this up as well, aren't I? I'm going to show you this. If you've not watched my videos before, this is the part of the reason I'm happy about the Bitcoin dominance not bouncing at this point, because normally when we come down to here, I often would say let's hedge into Bitcoin because we're probably going to bounce from this zone. This is the multi-year support trend line that we've had for over 3 years now. Computer's really struggling today. Bouncy, and then even when you come down to it recently, we bounced from it a lot of times, and now it looks like we're breaking down. And I would put it on the weight of this chart here, which is the Ethereum to Bitcoin on the weekly. This little trend line here, I say it's little, it's not little at all. It's been going on for about 14 months. We bounce from it, we come down to test it, we bounce from it, down to test it, bounce from it, down to test it. We had a little breakdown and bounce from it, down to test it. So it's reasonable to assume now at this point that we will actually form a bounce that may take about between 3 to 5 or 6 weeks. Difficult to put time frames on these things, but generally I'm quite bullish on alts because Ethereum looks like it wants to make a move against Bitcoin, and even if Bitcoin is strong, which it appears to be reasonably strong in the short term, Ethereum looks to me like it's going to be stronger, which then would bring this dominance chart down. And when we break down below this support, then alt season, I suppose we call it alt season 3.0 really, because we had the big one, we also had another one which wasn't quite so big, but this one would be 3.0 in my opinion, would actually be pretty big. So I'm focusing on altcoins at the moment, and one of my favourites at this very moment, because it's been pretty bullish now, I have been trading it, but it actually had a giant sell-off, is Algorand. So this is Algorand on the daily, right? We had a very, very nice move, very bullish divergence all the way from back down here, playing out really, really well. I was doing a lot of my bot trades on this one, and this is one of my favourite bots I had. Very consistent against Binance coin, made a lot of Binance coins out of this one. But yeah, it reached a peak and it had a dramatic dramatic sell-off all the way from the top down to the bottom. I mean, I suppose we see this a lot with a lot of these altcoins recently. They have reached peaks and had giant sell-offs. I think this one looks to me like it's not going to recover immediately, but when it does recover, this is the plot that I would. This is just a guide, right? It is a guide for supports and resistances, but it's also a guide price, and you have to recognize that when I do these guide prices that reach out over a long period of time, which is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you it over to a guide price all the way to 2022. Where is 2022? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? It's very likely to overshoot that. So this is so annoying. This is so annoying. Why is Binance doing this? Anyway, it leads us up to an area of above $5, basically, above $5. And when I do these, I'm very conservative about the way that they move. I think $5 would easily be reached by the end of the year with this chart. So the guide price, like I say, is using that pitchfork. We're still in the bottom portion of it. We're below, I suppose, pretty much all major moving averages. Really, we're reaccumulating at this zone, and this is what this is. This is a reaccumulation zone. Once we broach the 20 simple, which is the center of the Bollinger Band here, it's not far away. We are being rejected from it every time we touch it. When we break above there, we'll do all right, and we need to make our way into this pitchfork zone, into the next level of it, really. And the next level, obviously, reaches above our previous peak. I'm not expecting anything dramatic anytime soon, but I think this is in a decent reaccumulation phase. If we have a look at the way that it's moving, this is what I like about Algorand when it does start. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And what we've got here is we've got an up and a lower high. Sorry, a higher low. Up again, higher high, higher low. It's reasonable to assume that we'll come up to the top of the pitchfork again and then form another higher low, and so on until it actually picks up momentum and breaks bullish again, and then it will start to do the big moves again, bigger than the ones we've already seen, but more consistently. So this is how it's going to work out for Algorand, in my opinion. This is what I'm expecting to see from it. And another way that we can look at this is through the Bitcoin pairings, which again is not looking particularly strong at the moment. All of these Bitcoin pairings look like they're reaccumulating, and in my opinion, that's a good thing. This is Bitcoin pairing on the daily here, and it's neither here nor there. It's going to be a slow burner, definitely a slow burner, but when it does pick up pace and pick up momentum, this is going to blow the socks off Bitcoin. And like I say, when we've got this in our favor, we've got the Ethereum weekly chart in our favor, this is going to help the Bitcoin dominance come down. Bitcoin dominance looks like it's already going to break down as well, so the time is nigh for me to start selecting some of these oversold altcoins, one of them being Algorand. Anyway, nice short sweet video for you there. I will make more this evening, but thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day and take it easy.